Hey, this is Zach from Pomerium. Today, we're going to secure an instance of VS Code by CodeServer in the browser. To complete this guide, you'll need Docker, Docker Compose, and a free Pomerium 0 account. Let's get started. So let's go ahead and create a route. We'll name it CodeServer. Next, we need to enter the from URL. This is a public-facing URL that users will enter into the browser to access CodeServer. So we'll keep HTTPS protocol. We're going to enter the name of our service, which is CodeServer. Next, we're going to enter the to URL. This is the destination, and it's where our service is being hosted. It's also where Pomerium will redirect the request to. So we'll enter HTTP, the name of our service, and we're going to use port 8080. So next, we need to build an authorization policy that tells Pomerium who's authorized to access our CodeServer instance. So let's go ahead and do that in the policies dashboard. We'll create a new policy. We'll call this one internal only. We'll add an allow block. And the default policy here says domain is pomerium.com. So this means anyone with the pomerium.com email address will be able to access this CodeServer instance. Let's save our policy. And in our route, we can attach it. Okay, well, there's one more thing we need to do. If we go to timeouts, we need to allow WebSockets. And that's because CodeServer requires a WebSocket connection to communicate from the server to the browser. So we'll enable that, and we can go ahead and save our route. So next we need to add the CodeServer configuration to our Docker Compose file where we're running Pomerium 0. I've already added mine here, but you can find the same example in our CodeServer guide on our integrations page. Let's run through it really fast though. So I'm pulling the latest version of CodeServer. I'm mapping ports 8080 from my system to the Docker container. I'm disabling password authentication, but that's okay because we're securing access with Pomerium. And I'm disabling telemetry. This is something that CodeServer collects, and it's more for your own privacy. And lastly, we have these volumes, and this is going to track any changes to our project and the CodeServer config file. So next, we're going to run Docker Compose up, and we're going to access CodeServer. I've already entered the URL in my browser. I'm being asked to authenticate, so I'm going to enter my email, and I know my password, so we'll log in. And I was granted access. So let's do something easy, like creating an index.html file, and something simple like hello world. And if we check back in our cluster right here, we'll see the changes are being tracked from the browser. Now, real quick, what happens if I try to access this with a different email address? So in this browser, I'm actually logged in with my personal email address, which is a google.com account. And I'm immediately denied access. Now we can also check the certificate to make sure that the connection is secure. It says that it is, but let's look at the certificate really fast. And yeah, we can see here it's been issued by 0SSL on behalf of our domain right here. So there you have it. That's how easy it is to secure CodeServer with Pomerium.